Hi everyone, thanks for coming back again and joining me as we pick up where we left off with Banana Berry. Alright, so if you watched my first video on Banana Berry, you know why that's in a ball. Alright, so we're going to pick up here where we left off at. And it's going really well. I'm surprised really with how well it is going. Because my first shot at it was a little bit difficult. So I like how these greens are lining up where they should be and these dark blues. That's very good. So I'm just going to continue going on here. Several blues here in this section. All those dark blues here together. A little bit of a lighter one. That's good. That went with that lighter one. Typically I don't. The first time I did it, the Banana Berry, I didn't really pay attention to much of the blues. Of this blue section. But looking at this, now that it's my second time doing it, I see how well they are lining up also. So that's a good thing. I'm just going to keep on going here. Lighter green. Good. Going into this dark blue. So these are actually lining up perfectly, way better than the first time that I did it. I haven't had to use any modified puff stitches through the main body of it in any of the rows. The only place I did modify puff was right here at the very beginning, my first turn. I did it basically just kind of like out of instinct, I guess, just to get it to go ahead and pull correctly. I went ahead and did that. So here is, right here, you can see it in the video too. It's yellow-green, but I have yellow-green way over here. So I'm going to go back and loosen these up a bit. Because I know that yellow-green needs to land right there in order for the rest of the yellows, I do believe, for the rest of the yellows to line up appropriately. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're hoping. Alright, so there's that yellow-green. It's just a small little splash of it. But it definitely goes into the pattern itself. There's another yellow-green. That's perfect too. I'm going to move my ball over here and pull it from this side so I don't throw it on the floor again like I did earlier. Or keep bumping my camera like I did too. Yellow, green, and yellow. Very nicely done. Good deal. Okay. Continue to do the moss stitch across, making sure that those yellows line up correctly. Doing it this time is not as bad as the first time that I did it. The first time I did it, it was absolutely horrible. I had to really manipulate a lot of stitches for the colors to land right. But this time, for the video, it's going really relatively smoothly. So if you're attempting this with banana berry and it's not going very smoothly, believe me, I know exactly what you're going through, because my first one did not go very easily like this one is going. And I took out the entire thing. The picture that is showing as the thumbnail picture for the part 1 banana berry, that was my first project that I did, and I completely took that one all apart to do it again to make this video. And I dreaded the thought of having to redo it and do it again. But it's actually going really smooth. That sticks out horribly. Yuck. Maybe I can get that to pull back in later on. And like I said in my other video too, banana berry is not for a first-time pooler. It really, this project is really for someone who is experienced in getting the stitches to land right, manipulating the stitches so that they come out in their correct places, in the correct positions. If you're new to pooling, it's a good video to watch, but it's not a great one to try for your first attempt at pooling. So I'm just going along here. All right, I see a dark blue stitch here, and I see that I'm approaching dark blue. That's good. So that one landed correctly. This one did too. Good deal. If you need help with pooling in any of the projects that you have, you're more than welcome to contact me on Facebook. If you're having problems getting it, if you've tried and you still just can't seem to get it, I am more than happy to help. But please, I'm really not willing to help with banana berry. I'm not going to be able to tell what you need to do, where your stitches need to go, where they need to land, because it's just not as an easy one to do. All right, so I'm looking here at this blue, and this blue is not quite as dark. It's up in here, so I'm looking back here to see. All right, so this one is correct, but this one here is a split leg, needs to be more darker blue. So I'm going to pull this back, and I'm going to switch over back to my eye hook to kind of eat those up a little bit. I would like to do a full project, like make an afghan with banana berry. Being that this is one sequence, 2 sequences would be pretty wide. One sequence is nice and wide for a regular size afghan throw. If you want it a little bit bigger, then a nice border on it with some corresponding colors would be perfect. And I would actually like to do that, only I don't have any more banana berry. This is the only one I have. So maybe I will order more banana berry, because it's not at my local Walmart anymore either. I picked this up last year whenever I originally had the idea of doing planned pooling videos of all the Red Heart yarns, because people, sometimes they just need to see it done in the color that they have. So that's why I began doing all these videos in all the different yarns, because sometimes you just need to see it. You just need to see it work. You just need to see it done. And I really like helping people understand it and get it. So that's when I bought Banana Berry and several of these other ones of these videos that I'm doing here recently. It's from yarn that I had bought a year ago. So I had to loosen that up because I have that yellow green here, and I needed to go back and loosen it so that that yellow green would match up right here, so that it would land correctly. And now this bright yellow is going to be where it needs to be as well. Very nice. It's a little, nope. Let's see. Loosen these up a little bit more, I think. Wait, this is supposed to be here, not here. Never mind. Tighten that up a little bit. Much better. Good. If there is a colorway that you would like to see me do, you can always request it, and I will do my best to see if I can find it. I have had requests for some that I just haven't come across. So I haven't done those yet because I don't have it. Like I had a request for red camo quite some time ago, but I haven't had any red camo here locally. These are lining up nicely. I really expected to have to manipulate a lot more of the stitches like I had to do the first time, but I just haven't had to do that this go around. I guess my maybe my tension is better. Maybe I'm paying more attention to the blues and the greens more now than I did the first time I attempted it. But it's pulling a lot easier than it originally had. So that's a good thing. I mean, it gives me hope that this wasn't as horrible as I originally experienced it to be. I'm going to pull in some more yarn out here. Coming up on the dark blue. Good. And this here's just a bunch of blue. I mean, they're not really not going anywhere. It doesn't appear. Okay, good. So these are lining up well. I can't really tell much in this because it's a lot of darker blue, a little bit of a lighter color in there. But on the outer side is a lighter blue color, and it's lining up good. The emerald green is so pretty. So really, I'm not I'm just chaining 2 on each side, turning and beginning again. And then I always say, you know, whenever you turn it, you want to see, you want to make sure that it's lining up out of the turn. The only problem is with this is that you really can't tell, because all these stitches they're just, I don't know, the colors, they're too muted, they're too much alike, they're too much the same. So you have to wait until you get to a more definitive color, like that emerald maybe. But even there, like I've got some split legs there, but it would go with this one, and this one, and this one. So yeah, kinda. But now I come to the yellow-green stitch and the yellow-green stitch, and that is actually perfect. That's where it needs to be. So a lot of times I just feel like I'm getting lucky here with this one. Because like I said, I was not so fortunate with it the first time that I tried it. It was not so easy. But this time it's going really rather well. So all these yellows are lining up where they should be. And I'm just cruising right along here through this, and it's going really rather smooth. Quite easily, in fact. Two yellows go here. All right, so I'm watching my yellows, making sure that they are lining up properly. If they weren't, I would be pulling those back and eating up some yarn or loosening up some stitches, making them tighter, whatever needs to be done to make them land correctly. So this one here I didn't. I got this yellow one here and it should be over here. So I'm going to have to tighten these up a bit, make sure that that landed correctly. Tighten this up. Still not tight enough. A little too tight because I needed that yellow to be within that stitch. Close enough. Okay, there. That will work. So I don't feel like I'm really instructing much on this one, because I'm just cruising along and they're falling into place appropriately, which is awesome because you want projects to do that. Whenever they don't fall into place, that's whenever you have to, well, like I did earlier, I went back and tightened them up or loosened some up or whatnot. I was just expecting it more. So, some more of this yarn out here. Dark blue. But I've got more of it up here, and I'd really like to have it more so on that stitch. So I was tightening them up there to make that blue more solid there. Emerald greenish, good. Very good. So I'm really not doing much of anything too fancy here. I'm just making sure that the certain blue ones and the yellow ones and the yellow-green ones are all matching up. You can see the blue, and then of course those yellows. And then here just looks like a whole checkerboard of a mess here. And then you go out to here and you see the yellow and the blue. And then the yellow. The yellow's here, here, and then this whole array right there in the middle of the whole checkerboard again. We've got the dark blue, and then we have this lighter blue here, and the yellow. So it's going really rather nicely. There's another blue there. Sorry, my daughter used the bathroom. That's always pleasant to have on the video recording, isn't it? But hey, at least she went and I didn't have to remind her to go. And then there's a dark blue. So basically I just keep going through a lot of these. They're landing where they should. That's a good thing. And then I make sure that those darker ones land appropriately. And here I am approaching a corner again. Pull the V over there to that stitch. Chain 2 turn. Okay, so this blue I see needs to be here. So I'm going to tighten these up a bit. I was going kind of loosely because I was used to having to loosen those up to make the light green, the yellow green land correctly. So I was making these here looser. So I went back to tighten those up a bit. Since I see I have a blue stitch here and a very definitive blue right there that I want to make it land correctly. So Banana Berry, it's a fun one. It wasn't fun the first time I did it, but now that I've already done it once and actually ripped it all apart, and now I'm doing it again for a second time, it's going a lot easier than what it did. So not too bad at all. I actually kind of like it now. Especially that it's going well. I always like them whenever they go well, whenever they go easier. That's not easy. Okay, so I have this bright yellow here, which is obvious. It needs to go, okay, in 2 stitches. Let's see. I was thinking that it needed to go right here. I don't know why I got stacking on the brain. All right, so yes, this is correct. Okay, good. All right, that's much better. I was afraid I was going to have to do some crazy stuff there. So you can see how the pattern is really taking shape and taking form. So if you do attempt to do Banana Berry, and it works out, please post it. If you are a member of the Plan Pulling with Crochet group on Facebook, post a pic of it and stuff. Would love to see it. I think I'm the only one so far who has done Banana Berry in the moss stitch. I'm the only one who's posted one anyway. So if you do post one, if you do wind up doing it, please post it so we can see it. It's a great encouragement to others whenever more people post their work and show it, especially on a difficult colorway like this one, because this one is not an easy one by no means. All the swift color changes here, like the yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, yellow, green. And then I go back, I'm looking through here, all my yellows are nice and lined up right. The 2 yellows there, very nice, very nicely done. So I will finish this row out here. And you guys keep going with your project and with all your other ones. Like I said, if you'd like some help with something, if something's not going quite right for you, feel free to message me and stuff. I enjoy helping. I remember whenever I finally got that aha moment on making something pull, because I had tried for like a month and just couldn't get planned pulling, and it was just driving me crazy. And then whenever I finally got the aha moment of shifting it over by 1 stitch, making all your legs land correctly. Well, I was making my legs land correctly, but I still couldn't understand what was going on with it. And that was when I finally discovered, I knew it had something to do with the turns, where one of your stitches is ate up in one of your turns and not the other one. So whenever the light bulb finally goes on, it's like, wow, that's awesome. And since then, I have adapted many different pulling methods and pulling techniques, making it shift by 1, adding a stitch to one color, taking a stitch away from a color, whichever way you can get it to go left, you can get it to go right. You can manipulate it any which way you want to. I demonstrate that a lot in my videos and stuff, and I hope that helps. I hope all the information that I give you guys really helps out a lot. So This one has been fun. So please continue watching. Hit subscribe if you would. It helps us out a whole lot. Keep coming with more videos, more pulling videos. I may even do some other type of crochet videos as well. Maybe even some knitting for crocheters. And just some different stuff. But please like and subscribe if you like it. Leave some comments. I always try to get back to everyone. So here I'm off. So my dark blue is over here, and my dark blue needs to be my next stitch. So I notice that I'm off here as well. So I'm going to pull it back to, looks like I'm on track to here. So I'm going to pull this back to here and loosen these up a bit. So I try and make sure those dark blue ones are lined up. They're easier to spot landmarks. I think we're doing better here now. Maybe loosen them up too much. Too much of that blue is going to come through too soon. All right, everyone. So that is Banana Berry. It's going well. I hope yours is going just as well as all your other planned pulling projects go. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching and all your comments and stuff. And have a great time pulling. There we go. So it's nice size. All right, guys. Happy pulling, and God bless you all. Thank you.